The story is about a boy named Frenchie. He is a suave French con man with a long history of petty crimes like theft, forgery, and counterfeiting. Decided one day to aim higher and make a name for himself through a series of high-profile scams. His path to riches began with his girlfriend's wealthy father, who owned a high-end townhouse in Paris. Frenchie forged a property deed for this building and attempted to sell it for a cool $14 million. This con was just the start. Not long after, he successfully robbed a jewelry store, though he managed to avoid immediate capture. The heat was on. So Frenchie fled France and headed to the United States seeking new opportunities. In Los Angeles, Frenchie charmed his way into the nightlife scene, quickly making friends. With a knack for deceit, he invented various identities, often claiming to be related to famous figures like movie producer Dino De Laurentiis or designer Oscar de la Renta. Surprisingly, people believed him, and soon he was rubbing elbows with actual celebrities like Mickey Rourke, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and even negotiating a deal with Jermaine Jackson. Frenchie began conning his new friends by inviting them to expensive dinners where he paid the bill, giving them the impression that he was already wealthy and trustworthy. Then he would offer them investment opportunities such as a clothing store to persuade them to invest. Many people fell for the scam, entrusting him with thousands of dollars. After accumulating a string of victims, authorities eventually caught onto his schemes and Frenchie was arrested. However, he managed to post bail and skip town, heading to the Hamptons in New York. There, he reinvented himself as a Rockefeller, gaining access to high society parties and convincing new friends to invest with him. His Hampton scams netted him hundreds of thousands of dollars, which he spent on maintaining a lavish lifestyle, despite actually living in a bed and breakfast he couldn't afford. When his unpaid bill at the B&B reached nearly $200,000, the owners reported him and he was arrested again. But once more, Frenchie provided a fake identity, posted bail, and fled, this time to Canada. In Canada, he conned even more people, claiming to be a Ferrari Formula One driver. For 8 months, he charmed his way into various social circles until a businessman and his wife realized he'd conned them out of $150,000 and reported him. Frenchie was arrested and spent a year in a Canadian prison before being extradited to the US, where he was sentenced to 3 years and 10 months in prison. During his incarceration, he penned an autobiography mocking his victims. Upon release, he returned to France, where his book became a bestseller, making him something of a celebrity. Frenchie later befriended a French film director named Catherine, who cast him in a movie alongside Naomi Campbell. But true to form, he ended up conning her out of $700,000, about $760,000, causing her film project to be canceled. Catherine later made a successful movie based on her experience with him. Frenchie was eventually convicted for scamming her and sentenced to another 16 months in prison. By the end of his spree, it was estimated that Frenchie had conned people out of $40 million.